Dawg Pound. The Cleveland Browns have officially traded away the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett, to the Los Angeles Rams. This massive move is sending shockwaves through the league and has left fans stunned by the sudden departure of a true franchise legend. We are sending a huge shout out to our loyal subscriber Mike from Cleveland, who requested this update on such a historic day for the organization. This trade has completely shifted the roster dynamics, and everyone is scrambling to understand the full implications. Subscribe now so you never miss another critical Browns update as things develop. At the center of this debate is the trade that saw Myles Garrett head to Los Angeles in exchange for a package including former Defensive Rookie of the Year Jared Verse, along with a 2027 first-round pick, a 2028 second-round pick, and a 2029 third-round pick. While the possibility of such a significant move had been discussed in various circles for some time, the finality of the decision happening on Monday afternoon caught many by surprise. Rumors began circulating late Sunday night, gaining momentum throughout Monday morning before the official announcement confirmed the transaction. By 8:30 p.m. that same evening, the reality of the situation set in as the star defender released a heartfelt farewell message to the entire city of Cleveland and every member of the faithful fan base. Myles Garrett expressed deep gratitude for how the city embraced him since his arrival, noting that the community played a massive role in shaping his professional and personal growth over the last 9 years. He credited the environment for teaching him perseverance, grit, and the importance of showing up through every challenge. The departure of a player who holds the franchise record for total sacks with 125.5, along with 149 tackles for loss and 23 forced fumbles, marks the end of a truly historic chapter. His impact was not just felt in the statistics, but in his commitment to the local community beyond the football field. As we analyze this shift, it becomes clear that the front office has secured significant draft capital and a young, proven talent in Jared Verse to transition into this new phase. The sheer weight of this transaction is undeniable, as it permanently alters the defensive structure of the Browns for the upcoming seasons. The transition brings Jared Verse into the spotlight as he steps into a defensive role that was previously dominated by one of the most prolific sack artists in NFL history. Myles Garrett, who set the single-season sack record just last year, also claimed the franchise single-game record with 5 sacks, and the single-season tackles for loss record with 33 in the same dominant campaign. These numbers highlight the enormous void left on the defensive front. The acquisition of a player like Jared Verse, who already possesses the pedigree of a former Defensive Rookie of the Year, is the primary immediate response to this massive loss. Why does this matter right now for the team? It matters because the defensive identity of this unit has been synonymous with the production of Myles Garrett for nearly a decade. By moving on from the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, the organization is clearly prioritizing long-term draft assets and roster rejuvenation over keeping a single elite veteran. This move forces an immediate adaptation for the coaching staff and the defensive line unit, as they lose the primary attention grabber that often freed up other teammates to make plays. The pressure now shifts to the remaining veterans and incoming players to maintain the intensity expected by the fan base. While the draft capital provides long-term flexibility, the immediate impact on the field will be watched closely by every analyst and fan. The organizational decision to pull the trigger on this trade reflects a calculated approach to roster building that spans through 2029, even if the short-term transition feels abrupt. It is a fundamental shift in how the defense will be constructed, moving away from a single focal point to a strategy built around future high-value picks and younger defensive talent. The emotional weight of this announcement was perfectly encapsulated in the final lines of the message provided by Myles Garrett, where he admitted that leaving Cleveland is the hardest part of this entire transition. He extended his thanks to the entire organization, expressing appreciation for every individual who supported his efforts within the team's coalition. Throughout his message, he specifically mentioned the fans for their loyalty, even noting his respect for the criticism and expectations placed upon him during his 9-year tenure. Many fans have already pushed back against his humble wish that he could have done more, citing his record-breaking performances as evidence of his unparalleled contributions. The connection he formed with the community was a recurring theme in his farewell, as he highlighted that his work outside of the stadium allowed him to truly see the heart of the region. He emphasized that Cleveland is a place he will always be proud to call home, despite the professional move to the Los Angeles Rams. For the fan base, this is a bittersweet moment that acknowledges the end of an era defined by his unstoppable nature on Sundays. The trade package, which brings in a 2027 first-round pick, a 2028 second-round pick, and a 2029 third-round pick, represents a massive investment into the future, yet it cannot fully replace the legacy left behind by a player of his caliber. This moment serves as a reminder of how quickly professional sports can change, transforming the makeup of a roster in just a few short hours. As the news settles, the focus begins to turn toward how the team will integrate Jared Verse and utilize the incoming draft capital to build for the seasons ahead without the face of their defense. Looking at the mechanics of the trade, the inclusion of 3 high-value draft picks alongside a proven talent like Jared Verse indicates a specific strategy from the front office regarding the roster's future. The 2027 first-round pick, the 2028 second-round pick, and the 2029 third-round pick give the team significant ammunition to reshape the lineup as their window of contention evolves. By trading away a player who dominated the record books for almost a decade, the organization has made it clear that they are leaning into a multi-year plan. The departure of Myles Garrett removes the cornerstone of the defensive scheme, shifting the burden of pass rush production onto a new group of players. The challenge for the coaches will be to implement a system that accounts for the absence of his unique speed and power. Meanwhile, the arrival of Jared Verse provides an immediate injection of youth and high-level potential that fits this new, younger defensive profile. The fan base remains focused on how the team will handle the upcoming games without their perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate on the field. Every play in the next few weeks will be scrutinized to see how the pass rush looks in a post-Garrett world. This situation is not just about the loss of one individual, it is about the structural adjustment of the entire franchise. The move is a testament to the fact that no matter the success of an individual player, the organization is constantly looking for ways to maximize the total value of their roster over the long term. Fans who have followed the development of the defense for years now have a front row seat to the most significant transformation in the last decade of Browns football history. The reality of this trade is that the Browns are moving into a future without the man who defined their defensive production for 9 unforgettable years. While the acquisition of Jared Verse and the collection of future draft picks offer a path forward, the immediate aftermath is defined by the void left by Myles Garrett. His farewell message, touching on everything from his record-setting sack numbers to his genuine love for the community, has set the tone for this period of transition. The challenge for the organization is now to prove that this calculated risk in the trade market will pay dividends as the 2027, 2028, and 2029 drafts approach. For the supporters, watching the team play will feel different without the constant threat he provided on every snap. The focus must now turn to the development of the younger players who are stepping into increased roles. It is a period of adjustment that will test the depth of the roster and the adaptability of the defensive scheme under new circumstances. As we close this chapter, we are reminded of the high expectations that always surround this team and the intensity that the fans bring to every single game. The trade is finalized, the farewells have been said, and the organization is now committed to a new path. How do you feel about the return the Browns received for Myles Garrett? And do you believe Jared Verse can adequately fill the massive hole left on the edge? Share your honest thoughts in the comments section below as we continue to track how this move impacts the squad moving forward through the rest of the season and into the future of this historic franchise.